of Salta, and I've been told that I can do some amazing hikes around there. And I must say, I'm a sucker for a good hike. So I hitchhiked to this place, and the place it's barely a town. It had a small police station with just one table and one police officer sitting there. And as I was walking through the town, I saw this small, it's pretty much like a room with a guy who had his own tourist office. So I had a chat with him, and he told me that if I really want to hike, I can go out of the town, go up north, and there's gonna be an amazing hiking trail that's gonna lead to the waterfall. And if I go past it, I can go all around the village, and I can hike for multiple days. There are multiple waterfalls, and I'll come back to the town from another side. He just advised me to leave my big backpack with all the necessary stuff with the police, and just tell them that I will go to the big city to see a doctor or something, and I'll just leave my backpacks there because I have nowhere else to leave them. They will look after them. Otherwise, there's no other way to securely store my luggage for free. So that's what I did. I took my sleeping bag, I took my tent, I took my field kitchen and some of the supplies, and started walking. And I have this thing that I really enjoy walking, and generally I don't think about making my way back. And I was so consumed by my walking, by exploring. It was so beautiful, mountains, so rural, that at some point I got myself the idea that I've been walking for a few hours. I should have found this hiking trail already, the one that he mentioned. And the problem with that part of Argentina, with that location, was that there was a lot of little footpaths, and it was very difficult to distinguish if this was a hiking trail, if it was just an animal trail, if locals people walk it. But I remember the guy said that you have to go along the canyon, and on top of the mountain is going to be a waterfall. So I decided that if waterfall is in mountains, I'm just going to climb it. So I found something that looked like a trail, and maybe it was a trail at some point because I saw some tape marked. So I started making my way towards the mountain, and as I was getting further and further up, I started to catch myself on the idea that I am not on a trail anymore. At this stage, I was just going through the bushes, borderline climbing the mountain, and once again, it was so much fun. I love climbing, I like walking, I like mountains. It was a perfect mix, and I was convinced that I can just go through and find the waterfall. But at some point, I ended up in a situation where I had to properly climb a massive boulder with my backpack, and it was like a point of no return. I realized if I will scale it up, I will not be able to safely go down. It was like a one-way thing, and I got myself an idea that I am in the middle of nowhere in Argentina without any network connection, and pretty much nobody knows where I am. Some guy just told me to walk. I left my stuff with the police station and told them that I'm going to this city, and just started scaling the mountain. So at that point I decided, okay, it's time to climb down. I'm definitely lost. I gotta continue on my path. Maybe I'll find someone who will give me some directions. So I managed to climb down through the bushes and continue forward on my previous path. And to be honest, I was just walking through pretty much a wasteland for multiple hours until the sun went down. And that's when I set my tent and started cooking some food. And through the evening, I would hear some dogs barking. It would be always some distant It's got dark. I'm sitting there by my tent, cooking myself my pasta thing, my pasta tomato sauce. And at some point I realized it was perfectly quiet. It's like in the movies when something very terrible is about to happen. So I'm sitting there with the spoon, stir pasta, and I'm thinking, where's the parking? There's something very wrong. So I turn my torch on, I stand up, and I see two dogs, random dogs, crawling around the tent, trying to sneak up on me. So I stood up, I started shouting and waving my torch to scare them off. So dogs did get scared and they ran further out. I started barking again. That's when I thought, okay, I think I'm right. So I sat down again and started steering my food. And I think 2, 3, maybe 5 minutes later, the situation is perfectly quiet. And I can hear like something is approaching me. I stood up with the torch and the dogs was getting there super close. So I scared them off. But at that stage I decided there's no point of trying to wait for them this whole time. Trying to be bad already. So I just wrapped the whole thing. I disconnected the gas. I took my food inside. I closed the tent and I just stayed inside the tent. And I heard the dogs barking for a good couple of hours, but there were no way for them to get inside the tent. So it wasn't. I had a big issue falling asleep that night, but I guess I was too tired to care. So after a few hours, I passed out. I continued my hike first thing in the morning. So after walking for I think another hour, I did found something that looked like a dried out waterfall. And I looked at it and I thought, okay, I can't climb it. However, if that's a hike for regular people, it looks too complicated. It doesn't look like a regular walk. And as I was standing there pondering if I should scale another obstacle and look for adventure in my waterfall, one of the locals, a lady with a bag of sticks, like fire sticks, actually climbed this dried waterfall. And I just spoke my Spanish then, but I managed to communicate as I'm looking for a waterfall, looking for a hike, and she told me, oh, you need to go way back. So I shrugged my shoulders, what else there is to do, and I went back. So way back was surprisingly much more faster. It didn't take me that long. I think in early afternoon I found a wooden sign that showed the hike to the waterfalls. It was literally on the outskirts of the town. I passed it so fast, so I had no chance to see it the first time. Absolutely, I was too dedicated to walking. So, and this hike was pretty beautiful. So we had a nice canyon with the water. So sometimes you have to climb, sometimes you have to walk with the water a little bit. But it was very friendly, very soft. There was a lot of shade. It was amazing, and the water that was going through was perfectly drinkable. And I think after another hour and a half, I actually found the first waterfall with a beautiful natural swimming pool, and I just sat there. So as I'm sitting there were some people coming over to the hike, and I just enjoyed myself having a swim after previous day. It was amazing. However, it didn't occur to me like there was any way to keep going. It was pretty much a solid rock with a crack that I didn't thought would be safe to try to squeeze myself into. However, I think in about half an hour, a group of 3 Argentinian guys came with a local tour guide. They actually paid one of the locals some money for him to take them around. And after having a chat, having a swim, they said, okay guys, now we're gonna press it and keep going forward. And I was like, guys, where are you going? There's nowhere to go. And one of the guys said, you see that crack? Our tour guide said, we're gonna go into that crack. So maybe Mia said, can I come with you? Because this sounds like a hell of an adventure. And we yeah, they said, of course, why not? And the funny thing is, some of those Argentinian guys are quite small. I am 6.4, almost 2 meters tall, and the tour guide, he was quite a thick fellow himself. The way he managed to fit into the crack, like he was covered in butter. I passed him my bag. I managed to squeeze myself in, and the scenery that got open to me was just amazing. Basically, the hike that led to the waterfall was at the bottom of the canyon. However, as we went through the crack, we climbed all the way to pretty much the very top of the mountains, and you could see the whole valley in front of you, and it was just magnificent. And we were making our way back through the tiniest footpaths on the very top, and as you walk, you can see tiny people. They're so small because they're so far away, just making their hike. Same way they go to the waterfall, and then they make it the same way back to the entry. While we had an amazing chance to experience the same hike, but from the mountain lakes. After that, it still took me some time to make my way all the way back to the small town, and then I actually had to go to the police station and get my bags. So those guys were quite concerned because, as I said, they didn't spoke my Spanish. I just told them that I will be back. I was still like missing for over 24 hours, but that resolved quite well. And some of my friends actually arrived at the same small town, I think the same evening.